guys. Welcome to Q&A. Guys, Lenny Reed, owner of Dynamite Diesel, and Ryan, his distinguished colleague and national master salesman, most worshipful master, regional.
Did you say
worldwide
worstful?
Most worshipful. I know. Is that your title that you're going with?
We're in Kentucky. That's a word.
I guess.
But ask us your questions about your truck, guys. If you guys got any questions about DDP products, this is the man for sure to talk to. Just normal debauchery.
Or injector questions.
Or injector questions.
Yeah, anything in general.
Lenny and Ryan are traveling. DDP is based out of Idaho right now. Ryan is based out of Missouri. They're traveling across the country. They're in Kentucky right now for the Farm Machinery Show. So headed down. Lenny's going to start doing some Supermental injectors for John Deere Combine. So wait for that. It's going to be awesome.
3,000 horsepower.
That's right. Have you seen the Combine derbies where they crash into each other?
Dude, that's not the right line. You didn't call it the right line. We got to get in a Combine derby for sure.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so good.
So the last couple of weeks we've done this, and I guess people have found his number. So now they called in, and it's been like, "Hey, can I get tracking on my order during the middle of a?"
Yeah, hold on just a second. I'll pass you through the track.
All right, we've got our first couple of questions in.
Okay.
We'll roll into that. Ray wants to know: is an aftermarket deep pan worth it or a waste of money? I've heard they don't help that much.
Adding a couple quarts of fluid is going to help you keep it cool. Doesn't matter if it's differential or transmission or whatnot. A lot of times with the transmission pans, the neat thing about the pans, not only is it protecting your transmission, but it's also giving you a little bit easier access to drain fluids, so you don't have to take 6 bolts out and get covered with fluid and so on and so forth. So yes, absolutely, do a deep pan, especially if you're towing.
On top of that, it's so rigid that it actually brings strength to the case.
Yeah,
of
to the
trans.
case of the trans. Sure
So-
does. Yeah.
That's right.
I would like to introduce everybody on the live feed to our warehouse manager. It's asshole Chris Shear. Chris, would you like to talk to the guys on TV here?
He hung up.
He hung up.
Oh,
Oh, that was a good lead in. Did you?
Yeah,
That was really good,
You
yeah.
know, you think he'd remember this? He calls every Thursday during this. It's not like we do it at 3:00
Not
every
once.
Thursday. Or
Oh,
anything.
gotcha, yeah.
So, all right, let's jump to the next question. Were you all done answering that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Le-
04.5.
Lenny, not only does he know everything there is to know about fuel injection, he's also a damn transmission master, so. Which is good.
I've worked on a couple trucks.
04.559. What's the best way to lower EGTs right out of the gate?
Right out of the gate.
He just said 05 or 04.559. What's the best way to lower EGTs?
I mean, if you're
Out of
running
the
on
gate is
stock,
mine.
even if you're running on stock tuning, you're going to get lower EGTs to a certain degree with proper tuning. You want to look at turbo upgrades or intake, exhaust. A lot of the simple stuff. It just depends on how far you really want to go and how much lower you want to get them.
exhaust manifold's pretty inexpensive way to do it if you got a turbo in good shape.
Exhaust manifold. We know a guy that can sell you some exhaust manifolds as well.
Thoroughbreddiesel.com.
Yeah, that's right. check out our line of ATS Pulse manifolds
And deep pants.
and deep pants. We also offer a lot of intake manifolds if you'd like to look at that.
That's right.
Is there only a certain amount of fuel additive you can add to your fuel tank, or if you add too much, will it hurt?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good Lenny question.
Great,
Yeah.
Lenny. Talk about some cetane.
Well, I believe that you should add all of it. We have liquid dynamite; it's very expensive. But, I would always go with whatever the recommended of that manufacturer is. I'm sure that all the different blendings are going to be somewhat detrimental to fuel if you add too much, or possibly not get anything out of that additive if you don't add enough. So I'm not going to speak for every manufacturer of every blend out there, but I would go with whatever that bottle says.
Well, if you talk about like the liquid dynamite one, there's increasing lubricity, right? And then you've got, like in the winter keeping it from gelling up.
Yeah,
But cetane, what's cetane do?
Well, cetane is the ability. Well, it's energy in that fuel. It's going to increase the ability to basically burn. It's going to give you more energy per amount. Like say, a pound of diesel only has so much energy in it, and the more cetane that you can offer, the more energy you're going to get out of that fuel. So, not knowing what if you're buying 40 or 45 point cetane fuel, this is just a way to add a couple of points to that. We don't necessarily, at least I don't have the ability to test for cetane when I go to purchase it in a gas pump. So I do like to add some at every single stop whenever I do get fuel.
And cetane rating also, as like Lenny was saying in our training day, as it relates to timing, is too. When you're increasing your cetane rating or you're making hotter fuel, you're actually getting more correct timing during the combustion event. So those are all positive things for sure. Like Lenny was saying, you want to try to use some sort of a fuel additive at every fill up. I can already tell that the fuckery is starting on Facebook.
No, that was me trying to open my drink without making
I
a
just
big...
thought I was getting ready to say.
Jaron Holder did want to know how many 6.0s Lenny has owned.
Tell him to go do some more cupping.
Hey, Jaron, I need to talk to you. Golly, man.
Did you see weird bruises on his
Did you
back?
see the last round of marks he had?
Golly,
Golly,
doesn't it look like he just lost a
Yes.
paintball match? Like somebody just held him down.
he's doing it on purpose.
Oh, I know he is.
I think he's got 10 of them marks on his back, and I think I've had 6.0s in the last 5 years.
Yeah. So
I believe those are both facts. I believe he does have 10 of those marks.
It's more. He looks like a twister board.
I'm
goes back in his
crazy.
back.
Whatever you're doing, just quit.
Stop it.
It's not
Stop
working.
that's right. And you can believe this or don't believe it if you don't want to, Jaron. But Lenny and I had a direct conversation about how much we actually hate Huey injection systems today. So you know whatever.
All right.
Good luck to UCC.
We're gonna follow that right.
Piss off, Caterpillar. I'm sorry.
With an actual 6.0 question.
An actual
No.
I'm gonna work to
no.
bring you guys in today, aren't I? I can already tell. Early 6.0 Power Stroke, 2004. It's F250. Truck is bulletproofed. Not sure what all it means by that, but started fine. But I noticed my thickened voltage dropping to 33 volts, but the truck still runs fine. Any thoughts as to why it would be dropping?
You want to get it to its smallest part first. Test your batteries. First thing, before you deem it to be a bad fickum, you're going to want to do a battery test, and you're going to make sure that you're getting proper, you're getting good alternator. A lot of people, so many people will take that for granted too. You could totally have a bad alternator, that's still a real thing, but you're going to want to load test your battery too. If you've got a dead cell in the battery, you're not going to have proper fickum voltage. Sorry, did I steal you off thunder?
No,
I knew that Ryan was wanting to answer.
Jump right in on a thickum question.
David asked for us to do some full frontal nudity. I don't think we were allowed to do that.
Shit, yes. I can't believe it took him that long to remember. My boobs aren't as big as Lenny's, but I'll try.
Oh, man. I gotta deal with...
On our final episode of Q&A. All right, 05 LO.
Basically, we pissed off everybody that knows anything about Huey's, and I damn near took my shirt off. So
Yeah,
it's going great.
It's a good start.
Yeah.
Solid day so
It's a
far.
good start.
05 LOY. What's the best way to self-diagnose bad head gaskets? Upper radiator hose is hard after I drive it.
Upper radiator hose is the best way. You know, walk away from the truck for 4 or 5 hours, and if you've still got a bunch of pressure on the upper radiator hose, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a head gasket, but it starts you going down the road of being able to diagnose it. It's your own, you know, the upper radiator hose is redneck trouble tree.
So let me ask his next question for him then, so he doesn't have to. Upper radiator hose is hard after he walks away from the truck and lets it sit for 4 hours. What's his next thing he needs to look for?
He's going to want to look for the cap on the degas bottle. If the cap on the degas bottle is clear and all of that is clear, then you're going to want to maybe lean towards an EGR. If you still got the EGR cooler on the truck, that's kind of a far-fetched failure, but still a possibility. If the EGR cooler is already off of the truck, and then we know that the degas bottle cap is good, you can always do the combustion chemical test if you want to know it for sure.
Oh, we got a lot of delete questions today. Guys, we're not going to answer delete questions on the live feed. That's a bad deal. So
Just deleting our shirts.
yeah,
No,
that's
sorry.
right.
Well, they don't know if we've got pants on. That's the advantage to this guy.
We do. We have pants on.
Lenny has pants on. Just say.
I would not be in this room. It's way too small.
It would make things cooler in this room.
I wouldn't make it that cool.
It's not cool. It's not cool.
This has just gone down. This is the fuckery you're
that's right.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you think? It's a very vague question, but we'll just go ahead and talk about it. What do you think a good turbo setup would be in my 9924 valve? Hot Rod VP44 and 6x12 injectors.
I would base that question off how much power he's trying to make.
Yeah.
So
We get this a lot.
6x12s.
Hang on. We get this a lot, and Wade answers this. why don't you answer this how you would so that they can see that
I'm glad that
it's not just Wade
Yeah.
answering this and like dodging questions. Like they don't understand that they're not asking enough.
Yeah. And not bashing on him.
Yeah, no, I'm not. But I mean, it's
Well, okay, so it's an ISB motor. Basically, without having some sort of unlock on 4,000 RPM tuning, it's going to be limited to 3,600, and they start to defuel right around 3,200, even with an unlock. So he's not going to need a whole pile of turbine because it doesn't have enough engine RPM to drive a lot of turbine. Since it's a 6x12 injector, I assume he's trying to make a bunch of power, like 600 and change. If it's a street-driven truck, I would put a small set of compounds on it because it's going to be the most fun to drive. If it's going to be some sort of a pull application, then you've got to go with whatever that spec is that you're going to be running and try and dial in the turbine based off of the RPM you've got. So there's not near enough information in that. Like, I don't know what the gears are, I don't know what the tires are, I don't know what the truck's doing, but I'm going to say that, he's going to need something that's going to be capable of flowing 600 horsepower worth of air. So,
I mean, the best way to ask any turbo or injector question is lead in with, what are you doing with the truck, and what's your overall horsepower goal? Yeah. And then, we may ask gearing, tire size, RPM, especially if you're talking like a sled puller that's going to have like 2 throttle positions on and off kind of a thing. But yeah, I mean, a small set of compounds would be a fun truck.
Yeah, we talk ad nauseum about how fun it is to drive a truck, even in just very basic fueling with a small set of compounds. How much funner it is to drive, how much more responsive, and how much you don't have to tune around a big single.
right.
somebody got on here and called you dad a second ago, and it blew my mind. Your daughter's on here, and she wants to let you know your arms look small today.
Shit.
Tell her because he's sitting next to me.
It's probably because he's sitting next to me, daughter Reed.
Is that Devin?
It's the camera angle. Yeah, it got me for a second. I was like, some guy named Devin thinks your arms look small. And I looked at the picture, and I was like, oh, that's his daughter.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so that got me.
And if I ever go like kidnapped, believe me, kidnapper, my daughter knows where I'm at.
All right, another VP question following right up on that. 2001 Cummins HP, I don't know why I said that. 2001 Dodge, 150 horsepower.
150 horsepower injectors.
No, I just said 650 horsepower. So should I upgrade to a hot rod VP44, or will the regular VP44 pump work?
He's trying to get to 650 horsepower.
If
You're trying to get,
he's got to be trying.
There
to
ain't nobody on this planet who got to 650 horsepower with a stock.
Yeah,
That's not true.
P-pump
If
it?
it's a 15X, a 15X will make 650 to 700. A 17X, without having the hot rod mod done, I've never gotten one to 650. But if it was a 15X, I've gotten in there.
It's all fuel only.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So yeah, like if that's the question, are we trying to get to 650 horsepower? Yeah, you could do that with my favorite tuning back then was just the Edge comp box. Now they've got the 4,000 RPM unlock, which I begged for years when I had those trucks. Get your injectors to be properly sized, get your turbos to be properly sized, and it would make 650.
What's the more cost-effective way to do that? Because that's usually what they're asking when they do that. Would it be better for him to spend more money on his injectors and a turbo, or would he be better off spending the money and upgrading the VP44, and it would make the turbo and injectors cheaper?
Well, I think that if you take the drivability away from the hot rod pump too, if he's okay with the kind of a loss of drivability that you get out of the hot rod pump, you're still going to get, you could possibly get the rougher idle and so on and so forth. If he's okay with that, and maybe even a shorter lifespan of some of the hot rod pumps, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier for him to get to his horsepower goal with a hot rod pump. But, not maybe necessarily easier, but.
So one thing that we discovered, because back then I was dynoing like 10 hours a day. And during all those tests, I would take the exact same nozzle size, and I would just reset the opening pressures and then throw them back in the truck, re-dyno it, and see what I got. I discovered, because back then, like everybody's like, oh, you just add 5 bar, and that thing's going to be way cleaner and be way better, and blah, blah, blah. The torque would drop. So I started subtracting. So, they would come in from the factory at 300 to 305 bar of opening pressure. We now set those things to 290 bar, and a bar is 14.5 pound. So we've actually subtracted, but then we've changed the nozzle design and added holes, so hydraulically it's a little tougher to overcome at lighter throttle positions. But since we've like decreased the opening pressure, the injector acts a lot better. And VP44s do live longer. And if you look at like fuel temperature on a VP44, that you will actually see go down when you decrease the opening pressure. So
Yeah.
going back to injectors, like if you get a good set of injectors, you can do it on a stock pump. A 17X won't have that much volume, I don't feel, but with a good set of compounds, it's easy. Like it's not hard at all.
All right. Sean is our trivia guy from last week.
Yeah.
Back with another trivia question, so we'll pose it to all three of you and see if you can get it. Question for you: out of Ford, Dodge, and Chevy, who had the first turbo on a diesel?
The first turbo on a light duty diesel?
I'm assuming that's what he's meaning.
Would have been Chevy.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna. It was Chevy had the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't say it was good, but
Yeah.
it was the first.
It was the first one, yeah.
And I got a phone call. I'll be here recording over there, so that works better. All right. Transmission question. I rebuilt my E4OD transmission 10,000 miles ago and upgraded my valve body.
Not your valve body.
Yeah.
Valve body.
Yeah.
I was wondering if I could throw in a new torque converter and if it would be enough to handle 450 horsepower.
That's kind of a trick question right there. Just throwing a converter at it. I mean, we don't know what the condition of the transmission is. Do you say it went back through the bands and everything?
Nope.
So on and so forth. No.
Just said rebuild.
That's another one of those like phone call things. Like
Yeah.
when you're on the phone with the guy, you talk to him for the next 10 minutes to try and figure out like everything.
Yeah.
There's just not enough information there to make a
Yeah.
good call.
Yeah. You throw too big of a converter at it, it's gonna wipe just a mild rebuild out. You know?
It'll wipe the
Yeah.
input shaft out
Yeah,
first.
it'll
Those
wipe the
things
input
are quite flimsy at 450 with a good lockup converter. So if you're gonna upgrade the torque converter, you need to do the input shaft at the same time.
Lenny, do you know a Karen by chance?
Don't even start.
Okay.
Well, apparently Karen's here.
I'll skip that one.
Tell her and Devin to both get to work.
All right, how big of an injector nozzle can stock 6.4 HP FP support? I hear anything from I would have trouble with 15% nozzles to I can run 60%. Would hate to do all the work and end up having surging issues.
What kind of duration?
That's
Sorry.
another one of those questions.
All right, Sean. Sean one. I don't know how to say your name. Sean guy. Shawan. We need to know what duration is on the injector.
That's the Red 6.4 guy. That's the Red 6.4
Do you
guy.
know how to say his name?
Stock. No, I don't.
SHAWON.
Yeah, Shauna. Yeah.
So those things are going to be limited to what 550 to maybe 600 horsepower off of that pump. You can do it with very little duration and a lot of nozzle, or you can do it with more duration and a lot less nozzle. But so the answer is 15, it's 30, and it's 60. You just have to multiply. You just got to change your tuning to match. You're still going to be limited to less than 600 horsepower though. That helped.
Did
it?
Yeah.
That helped.
Yeah. But I guess he's wanting to say is what is the high pressure fuel pump going to keep up with as far as getting to that 600 mark? Will the high pressure fuel pump, regardless of what we do up there, whether we go big small or small big,
if he puts a 60 on it and then tries to lean on a bunch of pulse width, it will not keep up.
Yeah.
Right. So it would be better to lean on less pulse width and a bigger nozzle, and if he's going to keep his factory fuel pump.
They want the magic number of can pulse width. One, stock K31. How big of a nozzle can I get away with for the maximum? And we just really don't know the number. I would say. I mean, you want to throw a number
a
at it.
15% nozzle with a lot of tuning is going to be everything that pump can keep up with.
There you go.
With a lot of tuning.
And 550 is the big stock nozzle number right now as far as tuning goes. So I would think that'd probably get you knocking on 600 horsepower when you on stock Chargers. I mean, if the Chargers are in pretty good shape and the motor's in good shape and the plastic end keeps off your fucking valve train not to come off. But what do I know?
What would be the first thing you would do to a 2016 GMC LML for reliability?
How about Dodge? Sorry.
Yeah.
No. I shouldn't have said that.
No. Yeah. Twin fueler kit or CP3 conversion. Because that CP4 will go up. It costs you about $15,000
Yep.
in injectors and lines and cleaning the tank and all that kind of stuff. It's probably the biggest weak point as far as the engine's concerned.
Do you know about what the cost of a fail of one of those would be?
$15,000 with
Yep.
labor bill.
Versus buying a new
Versus
one up front.
with $1,450 for the twin fuel or $1,600, and then how much is like a fleece conversion kit?
I think you can do the whole thing. We've got it less than $3,000. I think.
Something like that. Yeah.
You can do.
It's a little bit more labor intensive to do the CP3 conversion.
Yeah.
But either way, you're going to help that CP4 last a lot
Yes.
longer, or get it the heck out of there.
Good preventative maintenance that
Yep.
could save you a big chunk of money later.
Absolutely.
Okay. I have a 6.7 Cummins, and I was thinking about doing a do-it-yourself CP3 upgrade, like the bag of parts from Industrial Injection. How do you feel about these kits, and can I safely run without a lift pump here?
We would like to take this opportunity to talk to you about the innovations in today's CP3 world. We're not. We just want to let you know that there's a lot better options out there.
I think that the stock CP3 volume is going to support about 600 horsepower. And if you jimmy on the FCA to try and increase rail pressure at an earlier point in the throttle position, you're not going to increase the volume leaving the CP3. So it's still going to support the same amount of horsepower. It may feel snappier, but it's still going to support the same level of horsepower.
Yeah, the capability of the pump.
And just as an aside, did you guys hear that Dynamite just released their new 12mm stroker pumps?
We did.
Well, there's
We
that
did.
too.
We've got those on our website. Thoroughbreddiesel.com. Lenny's been working very hard on
You
a
can
CP3
drive them on a
project.
stock truck, but they got enough fuel for 1,000 horsepower.
Down.
Up,
Up.
just a smidge tweak.
Sorry. Are we loud now?
No, you're good. I was turning it up just a smidge. It's doing good picking weight up. It's just could use just a smidge. You're
Yeah,
fine.
that-
You don't need to move it. It'll
That's
do the
good
work.
because I almost hit it closer.
It'll do the work. Yeah,
Your arms might look bigger.
All right.
I've done so much laughing over here. I'm like,
How hard is it to install a torque converter on a 6.0 automatic, and what is the best one to get
my wife's call.
to
Love
get 600 horsepower?
Say it again.
Let's just answer the first part of the question.
It's
How
my
hard
fault.
is it to install a torque converter on a 6.0 automatic?
How hard is it?
Same as R&R in a tranny. You gotta
Yeah.
pull it back, take the bolts out, move the transfer case, all the good stuff.
Check
Check
out
out the transmission, seat it properly.
If you've never taken an automatic transmission out before, you're probably looking at about 8 to 10 hours. If you're going to try to do it off your back, you might as well just go ahead and do 12 hours and the rest of the weekend.
Awesome question here. Would it hurt anything to swap nozzles on stock injector body to 150 horsepower nozzles, or get the whole new injector? It's a 6.7 Cummins, 127,000 miles on.
Okay, so I would say that from 0 to 50,000 miles, you're pretty safe in swapping out the nozzles. Although, when those injectors were built, they were built with deviation. Not every one of those injectors flows the exact same. The bigger the nozzle that you try to install on those bodies, the greater that deviation is going to be. So, you could cause an out of balance issue and a drivability issue that you never noticed before based on just that. So, especially with being over 50K, if somebody was to buy those nozzles, I would highly recommend they send the injectors in and we try to balance the bodies to those new nozzles.
If you're going to try it in your driveway, make sure that you go back in the same cylinder that the injector came out of because of the fueling components.
Yep.
Maria Alba wants to know if Lenny might know how to install an AFE lift pump.
No, it's funny. Lenny and I were talking about it.
Like, does
We
exist?
said, yeah. Said you could take the AFE fuel pipe and show it
works
up.
for a distributor, and she likes to call in and ask Wade if he can install that pump.
Nice.
I wrote the install instructions on that, so it's kiss me.
Oh, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
All right, I got a response from Sean. It's a pretty good one. Do you need me to refresh what he was asking earlier?
We're talking about the nozzles. on the
6.4
Yeah.
nozzles, 15 or 60 was his question. Sean said his name is Sean. Blamed his parents for the awful name spelling. So, Sean, sorry about that from earlier.
We don't even know your folks. We can't fuss with them for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, he's running a 75/59 tow power compounds, not start chargers. So he's hoping for the 600 mark.
Yeah. But it still doesn't. Not
Doesn't give us a
relative to-
duration question. I thought that's my one.
Yeah.
I should have read the whole
Well,
But yeah.
he's got more air, which is good. But yeah, I mean, depending on what he's doing for tuning.
I'm going to tell them right now that on a street driven truck, the smaller the nozzle, the better off you are. You have less crankcase dilution. The bigger the nozzle, the more crankcase dilution you're always going to have. So always go for the smaller one that will do the job you need it to do. And in your case, I would highly recommend the 15 because that's going to give you plenty of fuel for trying to get to 600.
Yes. And call your tuner. Tell
And
him
he says,
if you don't like it.
Open
Open her up there, Dad.
Got a diagnostic question here. It's a 12 Cummins. It's fully deleted. 100 horsepower EFI live tunes, all your runs. Recently did the Laird dual disc, the Quiet Organic, bought it from us. Said he used to be able to pull away from a dead stop in second, no problem. Now the truck shudders and I can hear the clutch disc squalling. Just characteristics of the dual disc, or does he have an issue?
There is going to be a break in there, but if you got the Quiet dual disc, it's tabbed, so you're not going to have that much more play in the wear per se between the two discs. I'd like to talk to him.
Michael, why don't you shoot the page a message?
Yeah.
And I'll have Wade follow up with you later on so we
Yeah.
can get some more information
Just
from you and make sure that you don't have a bigger issue.
like to know if there was something that actually led up to that or whatnot. So yeah, let's talk through that.
All right. 9924 valve, 5-speed. It's got the DDP 150 horsepower injectors. Super B 57 millimeter over an S475 edge comp box. Any rough ideas on horsepower?
He's right there at 6 1/4. Isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'd guess.
Depending on where he's gated at. What's his?
With a 150, I doubt it. He's probably, I'm going to guess he's 520 to 540.
Whew.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a huge injector.
Yeah.
So I just don't think that he has enough. If it was a calm rail with, 150 horse injector,
Yeah.
oh yeah, but with
So
a
what was the low number?
I'm going to say 520, 540.
And you both said
We
high
were
end
thinking
is
6 o'clock.
625?
Yeah.
So-
600 was what I was thinking. But yeah, on a 50, what was the?
But I mean, a 100 power spread, guessing somebody's horsepower is not that.
Yeah,
big of a
no,
spread.
I'm actually on Lenny's side now.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
Yeah.
So his Charger's like a 57 millimeter inducer on the comp wheel. The turbo wheel's a 65 on the X-Deucer, and then it's got like a .80 gated housing.
Yeah,
That a 520 to 540 coming out, that would be plenty anyways.
yeah,
Mm.
and a 475. He's really, yeah. I'm with him 525. Sorry.
I'm not there. We'll find out a judgment day.
Yeah. See you in October.
05 Dodge, new intercooler, exhaust brake, cold air intake, Edge Evolution. What is the best single turbo for towing to keep EGTs down without a ton of lag? So we don't usually do brands or anything when we're doing this, Lenny. We just talk about sizes and things like that. So
You know,
05 tow truck.
yeah,
yes,
yeah, something south of 64 millimeter.
Yeah,
more.
maybe a 58 millimeter.
Yeah, yeah, even a 58. I mean, that would be a very, very snappy charger. I mean, he's not going to have a whole lot of room to grow. So
They do some good
58 to
turbine work
62,
on it,
yeah.
that kind of thing. I mean, it's got two sides to it.
Yeah.
Will you go into some details of why a smaller charger would be better for him in this situation, maybe?
Well, what we're wanting to be able to do is we're wanting him to keep all the drivability that he already has, but we're wanting to get EGTs under control, and we're wanting to give just give the truck more pep and just more overall power in the sweet spot as well, and open up his power band instead of just being, here there. We give him a little bit more for a longer period of time. Did I say too much there? I probably did. So just talking about just common turbo numbers, Ryan and I are saying anywhere between 57 and 62 millimeter on the Charger, like an Aurora 3000 or something of that nature, that ballpark.
So that Charger factory
362.
at like 40 pounds of boost, at 450 horsepower, like about 65 pounds drive. So it's not that it's lacking intake air; it's got a 60 millimeter wheel from the factory.
It's got an exhaust problem.
But it doesn't have enough air leaving. So when you start loading it up with a trailer and give it some, give it enough fuel for 450 horsepower, you're not really lacking on the compressor side. You're lacking on the turbine side. So yeah, I would say that something to keep it real snappy. And depending on the guy's gear ratio and where he likes to drive with the tachometer, like the smaller on the turbine, but as effective as possible. So
Yeah.
I would say like that 65 to 68, maybe even a 71 millimeter turbine wheel, and keep the tight like turbine housing like an 80 or an 85, maybe a 10 if it was 65.
Sorry, I was trying to do a follow-up question, but I lost the comment on here somewhere.
They talk about dry pressure, man. We don't
All
have
right.
a chance to go into
06
other
Cummins.
questions
Has a brand, I'm assuming brand new exhaust brake.
a lot. 07 Cummins?
Hang on, I've got to figure out how to read this one.
With your eyes.
I'm just going to skip that one.
Do it with Braille, man.
Somebody wants to know if Lenny and Ryan are brothers.
No.
No.
Lovers, right?
Yes.
No.
Lenny,
Ryan's married and I'm single, so.
All right. How much time we have left, Bum? Where are we at?
I mean, 3:30. Yes.
Okay, I was just checking.
Yeah.
We've been laughing so much, I wasn't sure at all what time we were at. So
oh man.
So they're
Do you feel like we got something done today? A
I
little
don't.
bit accomplished.
I woke up.
That's
How
good.
good.
yeah,
You're
it's a good day
You're
to
here.
get out and about, right? All right. I think he's saying that his exhaust brake that he got's a POS, to use his exact terminology. Is there something wrong with it?
Are there any symptoms you can throw out?
Very
Like it
little
doesn't
stopping
work.
power. I can hear it. Also, just blows.
Well, on the front side of the
Keith,
exhaust
I'm going to
brake-
need you to re-ask that question, bud. I can't put together what you're saying on that one.
There a lot of a lot can go into that. I mean, if you're thinking that you put your exhaust brake on and now maybe you've got an exhaust leak because of it, and your exhaust is not out of hell. I don't know what he's got going on.
Exhaust brakes are fairly simple. All you're trying to do is make pressure in front of the butterfly valve. So if there's a leak in front of that butterfly valve, or if the little bolt that acts as a stopper is not allowing the butterfly valve to close far enough, then it won't really make enough pressure.
Or do anything.
Yeah, so I think at idle you're supposed to be around like 18 to 20 pounds, and at like wide, coming off the hill at 3,000 RPM, it should be about 55, 60. So plug an air pressure gauge in there and make sure you got that. It should work just fine, depending, no matter what brand, those are the numbers you're targeting for, and it should work just fine.
I like this question next coming up. Stay with 6.7 Cummins injectors or convert to a 5.9 injectors and ECM?
For what?
For what? Yeah. What's his goal?
The body's holding more 6'7".
If he's,
I guess so.
He
If
said
he's
stay
tuning-
with 6.7. I wouldn't.
if he's tuning for like a lot of RPM, then over the last couple of years, a lot of guys have converted to 5.9 injectors because the 06 ECM we can get 6,000 RPM out of. Recently, there's been a few of the tuners out there that are getting good RPM as well out of 6.7 ECMs, which alleviates the need to convert. But in the past couple of years, there's been plenty of guys converting to 5.9s, and we can get the same volume out of a 5.9 or a 6.7, so it's not an injector lack, it's more
It's
an
an
ECM.
Yeah, 6.7 originally is what he commented and said.
Yeah. So if he's trying to make like just a pile of RPM, then yeah, he would want a 5.9 ECM, or to find a tuner that specializes in the 5,500 kind of RPM.
Is Zeus ECM still a thing?
I don't know. I never tried one back in the old days.
Is it what?
Zeus ECM. You remember that Bean had a Zeus ECM?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Motorsports ECM, but it
Yeah,
was
that's
just
from Bistro. They're across the street from ATS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been down there. And
Yeah.
seen a few Countrymen. Yeah.
So what we're talking about there is just going, thinking outside the box and don't think about maybe the stock 5.9 ECM or the 6.7 ECM. Maybe there's something else out there for you.
99.73, and I just want to point out we're 30 minutes in, and this is our first 7.3 question
That's
of the day,
true.
and that's the
Yeah.
first
Very
time
true.
ever
Yes.
that we have made
But
it.
we knew it was coming.
Yeah. Welcome to you, sir,
Yeah.
or ma'am.
Yeah, yes, sir. When I'm coming to a stop, the truck just shuts off. Put a new crank sensor in. I'm on it today, boys.
Jeez.
I have a TS and SB intake. Only like once every 2 weeks that it shuts off.
What's your fuel level?
Was there anything that started this? Did this just start outside of the blue? I mean, it could be so many different things. It really could. It could be. I mean, it could be the regulator in the fuel bowl. I guess. I mean, if it's that sprung out.
I wonder if it starts right back up or if it cranks
Yeah.
for a while. We're kind of missing a lot of information.
Yeah.
Gonna have to know some more on that one, Tyler. If you want to comment back in there, bud, we might try to.
Check engine light.
Is this a call-in show? Can you actually call?
It is. I've got the phone off. You guys call us 355-9002 859 area code.
It's on the screen.
Yeah.
I know.
Too bad they can't punch it.
Yeah.
Wow, that would get it.
Hey, Chris, won't you call us again?
Yeah.
All right, got an 02 Cummins rebuilt engine tranny. Got a twin silver bullet 66 millimeter over an 80. Industrial injection 6 by .018 with VP44 Dragonfire Extreme pump. .093 lines tubes. Wanting to add a water meth injection system. Should I do one shot or double shot? That was a lot. Can you reread it?
What-
There's a lot of numbers.
What is he going after? Is he going after water meth just to control EGTs? I mean, or is he wanting another mild power adder? That really.
Do you think he's got EGT issues with 66 over an 80?
With a 6 by 18.
18s.
That's a big injector for a
Yeah.
VP44.
Yeah.
So if he's after it for the cooling aspect, then my recommendation, if it was in our shop, we would do a dyno hit with 6 pyrometers in the thing, and we would start aiming all of those little water jets to the holes that were running the hottest. So it might be like on my sled pull truck where we actually aim 6 nozzles at each different intake port to try and cool the thing off. If he's trying to just make more power, well, you can blend it, just after the intercooler, and I just don't like doing that because you don't get the same amount of volume at the front cylinders as you do the back, so you end up with half the motor working harder than the other.
Bias?
If he's controlling EGTs, I mean, he can do it either way. I mean, I think a dual stage might keep him from quenching too. You know what I'm saying? He may throw too much at it and just choke it completely out. So he may run into a tuning issue.
Yeah, we just don't know.
You know, just
He
don't
said he's
know.
trying to do both.
Yeah.
Said the truck runs pretty cool right now as is.
Yeah.
But I think he's trying to get more power in, a little bit cooler at the same time with it.
I mean, probably safely, you'd probably say 2-stage. Might be a little bit easier to tune it in.
How do you think you guys will do? I'm assuming he's talking to you, Lenny. How do you think you guys will do at UCC against the top dogs invited?
Our goal is 2,000 horsepower on the dyno, and to do extremely well drag racing and extremely well sled pulling. Like, we don't want to go there and try and crush one event. We're going to be the team that tries to do really well at all 3 events.
Yeah. Top 5 and all of them.
That's the whole goal. Like we ended up taking 4th last year, and Donovan's a great driver. So, we've invested a lot into a team partnership with Armor, and I think we're going to end up with a good truck.
That was Donovan Harris that asked
Ah,
that
of course.
question. I didn't realize that until you said his name. I forgot you said that.
Well, since only our friends and family are asking this question, I'll see you guys
The
later.
next question is from Brian Bailey.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Oh, yeah.
No. Get back doors.
Lenny, did someone steal your neck, and if so, who?
I feel like none of my employees are working right now.
You know what? Normally this is our employees. Half of our
Wait.
phone calls are them prank calling us.
So it's 12:40 there. They're all on the
My phone's blown up.
on
Like,
the,
I
on
feel
the
bad.
deal.
Yeah.
So
There's been a solid 65 to 70 people watching this the entire time. So
Sean has said he's going to kick your ass for saying his name wrong, so you got that going for you.
yeah, that's
There's that.
okay.
Maybe, and Maria said maybe rethink the shirt for next show. That's real funny because after I leave this job, I'm going to my next job at Cabela's to kiss my bag.
Wait, did Donovan ask if we were brothers too? The same dude.
That might have been him. I don't know. You kind of lose track of who asked what.
Yeah,
because they
no,
come in
it's
so
fine.
quick and it refreshes and yeah.
It's fine.
No, I'm not sure who did that. What about Adam? Mine's acting like we're fine. Oh no, it did freeze. You're right.
technology thing.
That's
We're
all
back.
right. Yeah, we're about ready to wrap up
All right.
anyways. So
We got 4
Any-
minutes there, so.
yeah, any closing thoughts or anything we talked about maybe today in training that was interesting that you want to go over again for everybody? We'll shut questions down and just kind of wrap up.
On Thoroughbred side, I just want to say thank you for Lenny and Ryan for coming out. We've been carrying DDP for a long, long time. This is their first trip into the shop, so it's been absolutely huge for us. We had great training from them today, so the guys have done a good job, and we appreciate that.
You want to talk a little bit about maybe the DDP story? We talked about that. I don't think we really did. Like,
Lenny and I are going to shoot a video after we get done here, and we're just going to kind of talk about what Lenny's got going on with DDP. So tune in for that. We may have that up in the next couple of days. We're going to try to walk you through just a little bit of Lenny's process on the fuel injection side. More specifically, we're going to talk about fuel injectors and all the pride that he's got in his work. So it's a good story. So check that out.
cool. All right, let's wrap up, fellas. Thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
thanks guys.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Tell them bye, Wade.
Yep, bye Wade.
Bye, Wade.